Hello, hello, hello. It is RoboQuest time once again. I love this game. Gonna keep playing it because I love this game. Whew. Oh yeah, tried doing a Buddy Bot run last time. Forgot. Not Buddy Bot, Superbot. Back trying to get Guardian 3 to work. How about that? I mean trying to beat Guardian 3. Let's play with the Elementalist because I like the Elementalist. Probably gonna be more of a warm-up round than anything else. We'll see. So, did any of you notice that young Dennis Hopper looks a lot like Owen Wilson? Because I found that out today. That was kind of weird. Just in case anyone else knew that or saw that. Tommy gun with an alt fire, sure. I'll grab you for digging. I'm not gonna go for speed. I'm just gonna go for beating it. Because I would like to. I don't want to rush myself right now. Have a nice chill time on the second hardest difficulty. That I've only beat once. Shoot the fireball. Yeah, I got it. I got that guy. Man. Things have been put into motion in my daily life that will result in things improving for me, which is great. It's just also, gonna be hard, because what isn't? There are a lot of things that are easy in this world, and I don't get to do many of them, even though I'm literally sitting here playing video games. It's because I currently am not really capable of doing much else. So it goes for now. Hey. Right off the bat, infused weapons. Hell yeah. What do we got? No. Cells. Oracle, nah. Ooh, dig spot. Ooh, piece of candy. Oh, almost burped, and it's in the back of my throat. Stop. Tiny. Oh, man. As much as I would like to be, I'm not very burpy as a person. And you may be wondering, why the hell would you want to be burpy? I'm like, well, because the alternative is waiting for it to come out the other end. And that's less socially acceptable. What the hell's wrong with me? Voltaic cannon has sticky orb. That's fun. We got over here, hurricane rifle. Barely use that. I wonder if there's like a stat for how much I've used each gun. I wonder. Projectiles bounce, extra shock. You know what? I'm taking that. That's a great gun. Up to Oasis. These affixes are nice. Aw, my bomb got caught on your bomb. We bomb ducked. Ow. Apparently I'm in a weird, semi-lazy headspace. My brain. Lazy and hazy. I did go to the doctor today. That's one of the reasons why things are going to start being put in motion to, improve my life. Getting some new prescriptions and medications and things to make my life work better, which will in turn allow me to actually put in more work into making my life better. Because that's kind of the main issue I'm dealing with these days, is the fact that I am struggling to be in a position, I'm struggling to maintain or even get to a place where I can regularly and consistently and with any level of quality, take care of myself and improve my life. So, the external help is what I'm looking for so that I can do the internal help. External help is gonna be happening, which is nice because of the reasons I just said. Zap. No. Oh, damn. Well, it's a good thing I'm not really trying that hard this run. Level up, though. Motorcycles. Get the homing projectiles. Sure. Torpedo rifle. I don't really want. I'm not gonna last long in this run. I just know it. That's fine. Freeze rate and duration. Well, that's definitely going to be a factor at some point. Upgrade. Don't want to read all the affixes because I like all of these affixes. Don't really feel like I need to upgrade the quality. Let's just go! The Elementalist works really well with, like, I feel like something like a Beluga Cannon or the Volcano Rifle. Voltaic Cannon is also good, though. Just, like, because, you know, Baby Boom is an option, so you can get some bonus explosive stuff with this class. It's a good time. Fireball. That's an alcohol, I hear. I don't actually drink, so I don't really know much about alcohol, even though I am 11 years older than the highest drinking age in the world, as far as I'm aware. Places that have it legal. I don't know. Is there anyone that has? Is there anyone that has a higher drinking age than the United States, 21? Because like in Canada it's 19, and other places I feel like it's 18, or in some places potentially even younger. And also just in some places it's not really that much of an issue in the first place. I don't know. Like, if a place doesn't have alcohol outright outlawed in some aspects, is there a drinking age that is higher than 21? I do not know. I don't even remember why I'm talking about the drinking age. Talking about how I don't drink. And that came up because I mentioned Fireball, because there's a Fireball that I just cast here, and that's the type of alcohol that I've heard about. God damn my life. You know, maybe I shouldn't stream today, but I've already started, so... yeah. How do you like that? Just the minimal level of care. Oh, that was a real problem last time I picked that up. I'm not gonna bother with that. Oh, hello. Thank you. What does going to the that way look like? That looks like the way out, doesn't it? Yeah, dude. Well, I died. Realizing just how low my energy is right now. That's fine, though. It's fine. Everything's fine. But hey, I had that 1S rank. That's something. Man, maybe I should just become a sleep streamer. Just specifically a nap streamer. Let's go with the Engineer. I do love the Engineer. Engineer is what I won on. It's the class I'm goodest with. Jeez, I feel like I'm gonna start drooling. My brain's so melted. Okay, let's try this again. First of all, bring out my boys. Secondly, grab you. Thirdly, one of these. This seems like the choice, but I'm gonna grab you instead just cuz. Blow you all down, it's always good. Bonk, 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 bonk. Bonk, 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 bonk. You know that sound that guns make? Bonk. Famous gun noise? Bonk. I feel like I'm talking like Drumpf. The way he says bing bong when he says gunfire noises. Like, there are a lot of things to make fun of that guy for, not least of which being his entire existence, and how much of a terrible person he is. I'm gonna do it. But the fact that he also says "bing bong" when talking about shooting guns, it's like, honey, no. Honey, do better. Let's see the thing with the armor. And trigger cryo explosion, because cryo auto crit is the build that always works, it seems. Just the most consistently effective thing. You have an alt-fire? Yes, you do! It has to fire an explosive arrow! But I'm like doing all of these explosions just with this gun right now. Zoom! Oh, I missed out on those healing cells, which is fine, but I can do that. Marking an enemy has a chance to burn it. Alt fires damage and cooldowns. Doesn't really matter to me with this gun right now. Deal shock damage to an enemy within space. Yeah, sure. Not really doing much else. Upgrade buddy bot. Upgrade you? Not. Alright, Oasis. Go away, sister. Oasis. Shunning my female sibling, Oasis. Did you know that women aren't allowed to drink water in the desert? No, always tell them Oasis. Oh, God. I'm definitely not gonna stream for very long today. I know my streams are only ever like an hour long on average, but still, I can feel myself not. Oh no! Oh, yeah, I probably should like lie down for a nap or something with how I'm acting right now, but I'm still not because I'm streaming. Oh, that's already dead. Omae wamo shinderu nani. My favorite part of that meme is the whatever the hell gibberish Japanese the guy is saying while he's exploding, because I say it's gibberish specifically because I have yet to see a version of that meme with that part subtitled, but it's my favorite part. Using deploy triggers cryo explosion? Well then! Sure. This is how you can tell I would be a terrific sniper. Just go off and go, oh, just bang, I'd be like the frickin' peanut butter baby, just with a high-powered rifle. Just, That's so stupid. Oh, cyclone rifle. I love the cyclone rifle. I might grab the cyclone rifle. I might. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep this gun. Because I'm gonna try to do more baby boom stuff. And currently all of my shots are explosive. Use shock damage right now. I can't re-roll it. It's fine though. Bonk. Dink. Dunk! Oh. Nope. Die. Oh, Gotti! Oh. The way Gotti became a meme is because a guy said got him, just with a accent very different from mine, and people misheard him. Because it was Godim, but I just hear Gotti. And I mean, there's a lot about this game that's rather gaudy and ostentatious. That's not true. This game is, like, pretty simple and effective when it comes to what it's trying to do and how it does it. It's just good. Boy, howdy. I remember on Mythbusters, they were like, yeah, driving while sleepy is basically just as bad as driving drunk, and I believe them, even though I both don't drive and don't drink. I know what it feels like to be tired like this, and there is a level of delirium here. Never been big into any kind of experience-altering substances, even the ones that are supposed to be very addictive. I haven't done very many. I smoked weed for like 9 months, maybe, and gave up, because I was like, this isn't fun for me. And I've had, like, some like pretty minor surgery done before. In fact, documented like 11 years ago when I tried making a one video every single week, which didn't last very long, but there's one of those where I talked about how I got ingrown toenail surgery, and it hurt a lot. And that was the first time I ever got that surgery. I've had it a couple of times since because my body hates me, I guess. But I'm about to die. But nuts. I should actually like focus instead of walking backwards into the laser. We're fine. Let's go back to base camp. I'm gonna play a lower difficulty just because my brain is so melty. Let's go down to freaking normal. Oh, I clicked easy when I meant normal, but fine. Brain wants easy. And let's do a ranger. I rarely play a ranger. Yeah, so the first time I got ingrown toenail surgery, I was given antibiotics, and nothing to manage the pain during the healing process, and that sucked. The second time I had it done, I thought I was picking up more antibiotics when the pharmacist, this is a different pharmacy that I'd gone to, was like, hey, have you used these before? And I was like, yeah, totally. And I went, alright. And then I found out it was not the same thing. It was, in fact, oxycodone, which is a pretty intense painkiller, and apparently highly addictive. And I would relate the kind of brain fog I'm having right now, my weird fatigue that I'm feeling. It's not an entirely dissimilar experience to being on that kind of medication. There's a lot of brain haze and thoughts just kind of happen, like with very minimal provocation. There's this weird feeling of like otherness. You're just kind of outside your own existence a little bit. Ooh, it's a gold one. And it ricochets. That's actually pretty dope. These, I mean, I'm on easy mode, so this will probably, these could carry me throughout the rest of the run. Yeah. But yeah, I don't like this feeling. Or at the very least, that was fast. Point blank, I guess. I never really tried to go point blank with the Ranger. Maybe I'll give it a shot, because I'm on easy mode. Yeah, I've never really liked the feeling of being on something like this, or being in this kind of state. The one time I had a good time with it, I was like, that was fun, it can stop now. But it wouldn't, because I was ready for it to be over before the chemicals were done being in my system. And then I had a bit of a meltdown about that. It was very uncomfortable. Oh, Lynx Rifle, my beloved! We're taking that. We're taking that, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, like, I've but the weird thing is that, like, you know, because I never really saw it as, you know, a, like, drug that would, you know, fully put me out of my, not out of my misery, out of commission, that's the word. I would, you know, still try to get stuff done during the days when I would have that medication on me and in me. So there are two stories of two separate times that I have used this medication after recovering from the same surgery, just different times, because again, the body doesn't like me. I haven't had to deal with it in a while, because I've been pretty good at looking after my toenails these days. It's been many years. I also will just, like, fully cut them out myself before they get really bad. Which, you know, probably not the most advisable thing, but the satisfaction of pulling one of those out. It's worth it so far. Anyway, yeah, so the first time, this is when I was in college, when I was in theater school for college, and we had, social dance as our dance class that week. We would, like, alternate, or we had, like, Tuesdays and Thursdays, or every other week or something, where we'd have, like, what's the words? We would have, like, just regular dance exercises, stretches, and stuff. And then we would do social dances, which would be partner dancing. And with partner dancing, you know, it was less of a exercise time, so you had to have your light dancing shoes that weren't like you know, more formal ballroom-esque dancing shoes. And that was a class I was starting the day with the day after I got this ingrown toenail surgery and was going to be on pretty intense painkillers. Not even pretty, rather intense painkillers. So I decided, you know what? I should not put my toes in any extra duress because they are still healing. So I'm not going to be wearing the shoes and I'm not going to be doing the dance, but I don't want to just, like, abstain from class. So I go up to the teacher and like pretty much everything you can think of when you imagine a stereotypical elder gay man dance teacher, he was this guy. Quite the character. Very little negative to say about him. Nothing in this story. Charming individual. And I mean, I'll make up no, I'm not even gonna make it. I'll just give the honor of it. I'll just call him teacher. So I go up to the teacher and I'm like, "Hey, teacher." This is before class. I get there early. Like, "Hey, teacher, I had some minor surgery on my toes. I'm fine. Everything's fine. But I don't think I should be up doing class stuff, both for protection of my toes, but also because I am on painkillers right now, and it's a bad plan." To which the teacher was just like, "Alright, honey, you could," and he called me hun. He said, "Alright, hun, you can man the jukebox." It was like, cool. So literally I was in the classroom, laying down. I say the classroom, it was a studio, it was like a dance room. So I was like in the room by like the mirrors at the front with the like radio on my stomach, the CD player. I was just like, But what happened before that is I go to the teacher and say, like, "Hey, I can't really do the dance today, but I still want to be present in class as best as I can, even though I'm on some wild-ass painkillers right now." He was like, "Alright, just man the music." I went, "You got it." And so, fast forward a few minutes, and everyone else has arrived in class. Class is just about to start. And the way the teachers like to start classes in those kinds of conservatory programs, you know, "Okay, class, here we go. Here's what we're doing today." And this teacher just goes, "Alright." So, Sash is here in class, but he's not going to be participating because he's a little fucked up on drugs. Well, Sash is on drugs, so he's a little fucked up, so he's just going to be manning the music. And everyone looked at me like, "The hell, dude? You okay?" And I was like, and then later people were like, "What's up?" And I went, "Oh, I got some, like, ingrown toenail surgeries, and now I'm on oxycodone right now." And they're like, "The hell? Why are you even here?" And I'm like, "Because this program instills fear in you that you're going to be, like, cut from the program if you're not putting your life literally, like, in higher risk situations and in danger, actively causing yourself distress and harm, for the sake of proving to the faculty that you deserve to be there. Otherwise, they're going to make sure you don't be there." Fun times in theater school. The program's changed a lot since then. That's a whole other story. But either way, I was there. It was a weird day, weird couple of days. Because we also were supposed to go watch the, this was when I was in the first year of the school. And the graduating class, the third years, they had a special production. They were putting on a show as part of their program. And, you know, kind of the responsibility of us as students to go see the stuff that the third years are doing. And I fell asleep in the audience. Fully. I was in the back of the audience, so I hope I wasn't noticed by, like, anyone on stage. But I fully passed out. And I remember the production. I don't remember the name of the show. But it was like a historical drama. I don't know how accurate it was, but that was kind of the idea about Mary Queen of Scots, I think. But I remember, like, stuff was going on, what have you, and then I am awoken right at the line that leads us into intermission by one of my peers, an upperclassman, if you will, screaming at another upperclassman, "I am your king!" And I was like, oh, fuck, I missed everything. And then I stayed awake for the third act of the show with no context of what was going on. And then my friends who were in my year were so lovely, and they called me a cab, and they lived close to me, so we shared a cab, and just, like, effectively carried me to them like I was a drunk person being carried out of a bar. It was a wild day. It was a wild day. And it's just a funny time. And that's that story. The second story of me being on intense painkillers when I should have been just dealing with that and instead did other stuff was when I was at work. For a long time, I worked on and off at this, like, ice cream shop / gelato store. No, it was a gelato store / cafe, not ice cream / gelato. Come on, brain. And, you know, same deal, but, you know, I was going to work because I had to, because that's just the life you live, even though it's like, hey, maybe don't stay on your feet because you just had, like, aspects of your toenail beds cauterized and, like, cut into and infected before that, and bad times. Maybe stay off your feet. Yeah, no, can't do that, because I live the life of somebody who can't afford to not work. I did then, still don't now, even though I am on disability services. It's not part of the story. Point being, I'm on intense painkillers while I am working, and at one point I just turned to my coworker, very lovely person who I haven't talked to in a long time, but very cool person, and I wish them the best, and if we ever reconnect, I'd be down with that. Anyway, what did I turn to them at one point and go, my tongue doesn't taste like it's mine? And they lost their mind in laughter, because what a thing to just say out of nowhere. Of course, that's wild. However, I wasn't wrong. It was very much the case. That was what I was going through. That was what I was dealing with. My tongue did not feel like it was mine. It didn't taste like my saliva tasted funny, and I didn't know how to handle it. AKA, I was handling it poorly. So yeah, that was weird. But yeah, that's those are 2 out of the 3 interesting stories of me and my experience with drugs, whether recreational or medicinal, or somewhere in between. I don't know. Actually, there is a 4th one that's not necessarily about the actual experience of it, but it's about just during that time, and it was about that, so I'd move to that. I mean, I might as well tell the other 2, because I'm already on this topic, and currently no one's watching, so who's gonna stop me? So, I'll tell the less fun story first, because I'd rather end this chronology on a nicer story than a not nicer story. God, my brain today. So the not nicer story first was not quite the last time, but the time that made me decide I'm gonna not smoke weed anymore, because I've never really had a good time, and then I had a really bad time. And this is the story of that bad time. It was my friend / at the time roommate's birthday party. And they were big into smoking weed, and most people are, as I've learned. Most people my age, at least. And I had started doing it a little bit and what have you. It was like, yeah, dabbled. I'd never really gotten properly stoned, as it were. But it was my friend's and roommate's birthday party, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. It's, having a good time with people we all like. This is fine. I'm gonna go for it. And so I smoked more than I had in the past in previous experiences, because I really wanted to go for it. Now, it was later, a fair bit later, but I learned that because it was a birthday party celebration, extra fun times for the others, they had mixed in another recreational drug with weed to make it more intense. And I didn't know that until I had already, shall we say, gone ham. And so I ended up getting quite properly inebriated. And I was like, you know what? I'm having a fun time. I was classic, like getting the, the giggles and the funnies and ha ha ha, and everything's fun, everything's happy, everything's jovial. And that was a good time for like 15-20 minutes, and I was like, that was fun. I would like for this to die down now. Because that was fun, and I'm ready for this to be over so I can go back to being me, the way I'm used to. And it didn't, because the chemicals were still in my system. And I very suddenly realized that I'm no longer in control of, like, my own experience and how I'm, like, going through my life here. Like, there is an aspect of this, not just that I can't control, but something that is, like, fully altering my experience that I can't, that I just have to deal with and can't, like, turn off, I guess. And I started fully, like, downward spiraling into a panic attack. And, that was a bad time for me. Sounds like it, because it was. Unfortunately, the other people I was with were both trying to have a good time and also were very inebriated on the same substance that I was having a hard time with, because they were used to it. So they were, having a good time and I was not. And their, perception and experience was also skewed via chemicals. So the advice I got from two different people, both of which were terrible. The advice I got from one friend of mine was, have more, it'll calm you down. And I was like, no, please, that's the opposite of what I want. Like, anything but that, please. I would not like to take the cause of the problem to treat the problem. Even now I'm thinking about it, this is, like, back in 2011? This is a long time ago. Even still thinking about it now, I'm like, what a freaking concept. And the other person who gave me terrible advice, was not really advice. Oops. Was the friend and roommate whose birthday it was, whose party it was. They said to me, hey, you freaking out is starting to freak me out, so can you not? It's like, cool, super not helpful to my situation. Great, thanks. so I just went to my room and fell asleep, and that's about it. Yeah. So, having gone through those experiences, both of those experiences, do I recommend recreational drugs? I recommend giving them a shot if, they're safe and everything about it is done safely and consensually, and, that goes in part and parcel with the safety, and, and also what chemicals you're doing, how you're doing them, etc., etc. There are a lot of factors to make sure that goes as smoothly as possible if you want to try it, but I did not for me. I tried it for a couple of times over the course of a year, 9 months to a year, and bad times. It was either nothing or it was bad. That was my experience. Now, that same year though, later that same year, so I hadn't quite stopped doing it, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna, give this maybe 1 or 2 more tries. I don't know. I don't think I actually put a number on it, but I was on the tail end of my curiosity being satisfied in this realm, and what I did not know until that year was that there was a tradition in my family around Thanksgiving time, which for those of you who don't know about Canadian Thanksgiving, it's in November instead of October. Not that it really matters. But Thanksgiving had rolled around, and it apparently was a tradition. I don't know if it still is actually in my family, but it was some kind of tradition for the younger people in my family, being my siblings, my cousins, and friends we invite. My family has gone pretty hard in Thanksgiving, not in terms of throwing a big bash, but lots of people are invited and expected to drop by and what have you. And so there have been times where we had Thanksgiving with over 20 people or something. It's been wild. But yeah, so the younger folks coming who were there for Thanksgiving would, before dinner, would go walk down to the lake, because I lived close to Lake Ontario, and I do not now. Sort of, I don't know, not really important. I'm not going to dox myself any more than that. I said I live in Toronto. It's close to Lake Ontario. But I used to live by the lake. Anyway, just realizing that that's probably weird for a lot of folks to live really close to a big lake like that. Huh. Anyway. Oh boy. But yeah, so it's tradition for the younger folks to, all go down to the lake together, smoke weed, and then come back and eat dinner. Because, marijuana and then food, right? It's the original Netflix and chill. That's not how that works. But, yeah. So this was the 1 year I was in a place to participate in that event. And... Oh, Bolter, I love you. But I'm not gonna grab you today. It's also worth noting that when I was growing up, when I was pre-teens to early teens, I had a very supportive and understanding family when it came to things like going out and partying and what have you. They were if I would go out to a friend's house, and there would be my friend was having a party or something, and I was going to be there, the general attitude that I had from my parental figures was hey, don't care what you do as long as you're not unsafe, and you don't have to tell me about what you've gotten up to or anything. Just regardless of what time it is, wake me up when you get home, let me know that you're home safe, and everything's chill. Make up your own mind about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Just gonna request that you not be an idiot. I'm you got it. So yeah, so I never had very strict parenting in that regard, which
allowed me to really make up my own mind. It's just that when I had made up my own mind of like, hey, I don't really want to do this stuff. And this is before I even started trying it. This is like when I was, young. I was like, yeah, I wasn't interested in trying any of it. So the funny thing is that as time went on and I continued to not go out and party, etc., I would be like invited to a friend's party, but that would be it, and that would happen like once every couple of months at most. And when I would hang out with my friends, that's not the kind of stuff that we would do. Whatever. To each their own. But it got to a point where one of my parents was like, why haven't you been doing that stuff? Like, what? Why not? And I was like 15 or 16. And they're like, why haven't we been going out and getting drunk with your friends? And I was like, you're the one who's, like, traditionally, according to the stories, is supposed to be against this concept. Why are you asking me why I haven't? It was just a weird conversation. They're like, well, I don't want you missing out. I'm like, I'm technically missing out on something I don't want to participate in, so I'm chill. Like, everything's cool. It's just kind of funny. But, fast forward to, a couple of years later when I was, in the brief period where I did do some of that stuff, the younger kids are getting ready to do this traditional go out to the lake and smoke weed and come back and eat. And I'm getting my shoes on. And then that same parent, while helping, prepare dinner, comes out, pokes her head out from the kitchen and they're like, hey, Zan, are you going with them? And I just went, yeah. And I kid you not, they're like wiping their hands on a towel that's like covering like their apron with like the towel. Like they're doing this, like, are you going with them? And I'm putting on my boots and they're like, yeah. And they just go, yes! I was like, you're a parent. Why are you so excited that I'm gonna go do drugs? It was a weird day. Yeah. Just really excited for me to be doing a thing that they really valued doing when they were my age, I guess. And that's the fourth me doing drugs and alcohol, I guess, stories. Aren't they interesting? Yeah, man. It's a weird life. I have had a weird life, as most people have. I wonder who has had, like, statistically the most boring life and how they feel about their life if they feel like it's boring. I wonder. Do I want to pick up the big pistol? Because, like, I love this Lynx rifle so much. But do I want to grab the pistol? It does have the sidekick feature. That's fun. So what is the damage difference here? Oh, wow, this is actually much more damage, but it's also because it's leveled up twice more. I just like the Lynx rifle. Yeah. I'm realizing that I said that these guns would carry me through this run, and I barely use them because I like the Lynx rifle so much. I just like the Lynx rifle. It's one of my favorite guns in the game. It's like top 3. There's the bolter, and this, and like, maybe the dual boomsticks? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What would the third one be? Maybe it would be the dual boomsticks. God, I can feel myself just fully, I don't know if dissociating is the right term, because there's not desocializing, dissociating, there's desocializ, oh my god, there is dissociation, and there's also depersonalization.
and I'm not sure which one applies more to what I'm going through right now. But neither of which are like hella negative experiences right now for me. I'm just kind of out of it. So that's good, I guess. I'm doing not great on an easy mode run. That should be a clue, considering how many times I have played this on stream and how well, I say, and how much better than this I have played. Not necessarily saying that I'm good, but I've definitely normally played better than this. This is rough. But that's fine, because I don't care right now. Like, I am doing about as well on an easy mode run right now as I have done in the past on, like, Guardian 1 or maybe even 2? Mantis Crossbow, I do... You're also great. I mean, here's the thing. Mantis Crossbow, it's a lot like the Lynx... It's everything that I like about the Lynx Rifle, just with the, you know, profile of a crossbow. And I like the single, like, jump plug rifle aesthetic more. Which is funny, because I've said before how much I like using, you know, archery in games that have bows and arrows. Like, the Tomb Raider reboot games, I rarely use the guns that aren't the bow and arrow. I try to stealth and bow and arrow my way through all of it as much as I can. But crossbows don't do it nearly as much for me. That said, there are some exceptions. There are, I think it's the crossbow in Remnant. 1 and 2, I think, has both of these. Both of them have this gun. They have a crossbow. It's a pretty dang good crossbow. And a lot of their bow weapons in those games are less good. At least to me. But there is a, oh no, I got hooked, but I'm okay. Wow, I'm not even using, like, my stealth ability or anything. I'm just... this whole thing. It's fine. The fact that I didn't get an S rank on a level while playing easy mode, that's a sign. That's a sign. Oh boy. Oh boy, I should, like, take a nap or something. I'm probably gonna. You know how that works, Dual Hellions. I do like Dual Hellions too. I'm gonna, you know what? I am going to go, after I die somewhere in this run, because I really don't think I'm gonna beat this run. I am that unconfident in my abilities right now, because of the state my brain's in. I'll go and quickly take a look at the different guns and see if I can really find what would be number 3 in my top 3. Or make like a top 5. Maybe I'll make a tier list. Probably not gonna make a whole ass tier list. But maybe I'll make one on another day. Because this game is good and I really like the guns in it. Most of them. Actually, I'm not a big fan of these, of the dual crossbows as guns. I'm not a huge fan of them. I don't like their rate of fire. I'm not a huge fan of how, like, both of them recoil when you're only firing with one hand at a time. Like, right one's firing, but this one also goes back. It's weird. I'm not a fan of that. It always feels like they do less damage than they're supposed to. At least when I grab them early on. Clip size isn't very big for the damage that they do, but, like, they have high crit, which is, I guess, the balance there. So, like, I mean, I feel like it's one of those, like, hey, this gun's gonna be a really good late game once you've had it, like, if you build around them. Which, you know, fair. I just generally don't keep them around that long. I might pick them up, but I tend to abandon them for other guns before you really bother to build them out, or build around them. There we go. But yeah, you know how it is. I hope, because I don't even know if I'm making sense anymore. Leveled up, good for me.
Um, yeah, I'm using my javelin. Not really using stealth, but I'm using my javelin. Do I want to bother with anything in here? Sure. What time is it? I've been streaming for less than an hour still. I'm done. I'm done. I didn't mean to quit the entire game. I meant to just go back to the base camp so I could look at the different guns. God damn. Sleepy deepy eepy. I'm I'm pooped. I'm gonna go rest. And I recommend everyone else rest. Just in general. Yeah. So, you know, have a good time until I wish you another good time, and regardless of how your day's going, I hope it improves. I'll stream again soon. Maybe Monday? I don't know. I got plans tomorrow and maybe Sunday, so we'll see. Don't have a schedule, so I can't disappoint you if I don't stream. Ha ha! I still like doing it, though. Alright.